And it's Thursday night football from Washington, where the Iron Wolves New York Giants have traveled to Washington football team to take them on. New York is 0-1, Washington 1-0. We will be back in just a second with the game, and I'll see you at halftime with the scores of each game and some stats on the game. And I'll be back at halftime, and the game will be starting in just 1 second. We'll be back in a second. Announcers, you are good to unmute and take it away for Thursday night football at Washington against the 0-1 New York Giants. Go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tristan Gherkin alongside with Brady Kresmer, and today we're starting off the week with a Giants and Washington Commanders matchup. Giants being 0-1, look to be 1-1, and Washington looking to keep the streak going. Brady?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Giants have been talking about who their starting quarterback should be. They have pretty interesting depth with Mac Jones, Andy Dalton, Marcus Mariota. So I'm excited to see who they're going to start out with.
Yes, a lot of veterans, and they're going with the rookie. Pretty impressive. And what do you think about the receiver core? I mean, receiver core is looking really well, really good. And, he has a lot of options. So what do you think their offense is going to look like tonight, Brady?
Yeah, they got some solid receivers, especially with the addition of Christian McCaffrey, adding some extra depth to the receiving room. And then their tight end room, including Evan Ingram. They have all around solid receiving core.
I'm obviously excited to start off this week. It's just a classic matchup with the Giants and Washington Commanders, and we're just looking to have a show out by our teams.
So we wait for this game to start shortly. And looks like the game is about to start.
But yeah, looking at the defense for Giants, I mean, that's where it comes to a liability for this team.
Kick off all the way out to the 40, so good start of field position for the Giants. And they are going to roll with Mac Jones. First play here. So rifle it over the middle for Evan Ingram. Gain of 2.
But yeah, this is what we were hoping for. This is what we were hoping for the Giants offense to start out aggressive on the passing end, and obviously that's how they're going with right now.
Oh yeah, as we just saw that pass over the middle. They're on a drive already.
And it's also just Washington's defense, another liability for. I mean, both teams' defense is just not a factor for teams, and we're looking to have a high score game. Mac Jones take off and slide down around 34. It's gonna bring up 2nd and 3.
Third down now, but Mac Jones escapes and he is hit and a fumble, loose ball, and the Commanders are on it. Wow. So the drive goes.
This is the big
in one
turnaround for
play.
Washington. Now they got the football, and now they have a chance to go down the field as the Giants were in field goal range. I mean, what do you think about the play call there?
You know, Daniel Jones saw nothing open, decided to take it. He wasn't going to get there in the first place. And all around that play just didn't add up for them and ended up causing a turnover here as the Giants start
First
off with
down
their
here,
TFL.
Giants get a stuff. And this is what they want. I mean, last week, defense wasn't a factor, and this week they might change it around a little bit.
Great play by the defender there.
The replay, I mean, there's no blocker to contain him. As we bring up 2nd and 11?
And he's there again to make the
2nd
stop.
and 12, my bad.
Gain of 1 on that play, brings up 3rd and long.
This is a big third down here for Washington. If they don't convert this, and you're just giving the Giants another chance to just go down the field and, hopefully get a field goal as they missed that opportunity last time.
Winston dropping back, fires, picked off over the middle. Wow, it's Owusu Kormoa on the interception. And that's
this is
to start this game. Looking like a defensive battle so far.
It's just not what you want for both teams. I mean, 2 turnovers, and now you have Giant field position. I mean, this is just not a good start for both teams.
Good start to the drive as CMC picks up about 7.
They saw the passing game wasn't working as well on the first drive. Go to the run. I might see them attack this again, but never mind. Jones all by himself. And a big hit.
Dang.
He's blown up at the 35.
Is a first down.
Luckily, he was able to hold on to that football there.
Pretty good defensive stop there. Held Christian McCaffrey to 1 yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
This defensive front is looking to step up in this game, and the passing, they haven't been so aggressive with it to start off. I mean, what do you think can happen?
Yeah, the passing, they have a good passing play there, but I think they're just trying to get their run game and settle down, especially after the turnover like that.
Yeah, definitely trying to slow it down a little bit.
Play some good football here as Daniel Jones throwing over the middle. Evan Ingram all the way up inside the 15-yard line, gain of 5.
Smart decision there. You don't see anything like downfield. Just dump it off and get those yards and try it. Hopefully, if they don't get the first down here, you got better field goal position, so you can really knock down the field goal.
Yep, just a short, sustained drive is what they need right now. Taking it slow after a turnover. Third down here. Throwing over the middle, and oh my gosh, we have another turnover. That's back-to-back turnovers to start this game.
I mean, this is not smart offense for both teams. You're throwing third down when you're in field goal range. You decide to just be aggressive with it, and it pays the price. And he's picked off, and it's just not a good start.
Yep, and the Commanders, Sir Jameis Winston, throws it for a gain of 8 to Tommy Tremble.
He could see that play before he even started. I mean, he was just looking at his tight end. He knew that was going to be a big play.
And Dobbins here stuffed at the line. Won't get anywhere. And it brings up third down already. Third down and 1 now.
Looks like the defense is moving around a little bit. They don't know what to call.
Yeah, looks like we got an offensive switch here. Run up the guy with Dobbins, and he slips and falls after a good gain all the way out to the 35-yard line.
That's just a great move. He just sees a hole, and the blocking wasn't even that good. I mean, like initially he was going to go up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it right,
in
cut right,
face.
and found a lot of space.
Throwing here to DJ Moore. It's caught. First down. Close to the 50-yard line.
See, now Washington is starting to slow the drive. They're starting to be more, they're going to slow it down. They're starting to be more safe, and it's looking good for Washington right now.
Yep, but wouldn't speak so soon with all the turnovers it have. Run there. It's about 2.
I see him attacking it again. I mean, it's working this drive. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't go back to it.
There it is again. Dobbins picks up 4 yards, and
I like the play call. They're getting more aggressive. They're having their defense guessing. I like it.
Third down now. Throw over in the middle is caught. It's a first down and more all the way in. This dot inside the 35-yard line.
I like this offense. They're starting to play better, starting to play more safe, and the tight end is a crucial part for both teams because they're looking for the receivers and got another option.
This Washington team definitely has a solid receiving core. Between DJ Moore and Darius Slayton on the outside, and Tommy Tremble in at the tight end spot. Pass over the middle here is going to be caught by Jones. Breaks the tackle and gets upfield inside the 20-yard line.
You could not have thrown that ball any better than he just did there. A little high pass, just, like over the middle. It's really risky to make those kind of throws, and he threw it perfectly there.
J.D. McKissick on the run here. Gain of 7.
J.D. McKissick is becoming a factor. I mean, this drive is just showing out. I mean, a lot of run plays this drive.
Give it to Dobbins up the middle. Brings him to the 5 and brings up a 1st and goal for Washington.
Now, this is where defense becomes a factor here. I mean, a lot of turnovers in the red zone. Hoping to not have another one here.
Then Dobbins, your power forward, he's going to be in for the touchdown.
Dobbins and McKissick, Washington. A great duo.
Strike. 6-0.
2-punch paid off.
Extra point up and good. 7-0 Washington. After a great drive there.
I really like how Washington put all those bad plays behind their head, got a turnover in the red zone, and made use of it.
And a hit. Fumble. Ball's loose on the kickoff. And Washington's going to scoop and score it.
You could not have started out this game any better than Washington has done. I mean, beside those turnovers, just a great start.
They came amped and ready to play there. Just the extra points, no good. Rents 13-0.
I mean, conditions are looking fine tonight, except he just missed it.
Yep. Simple as that. Jones on the QB scramble picks up a first down
I like that
for the
play there. Mac
Giants.
Jones using his wheels, and the defense didn't expect it, but hey, he got a first down.
Yup. CMC on the run there picks up about 8, tackled by Brian Burns.
See, we all look at the receiving core. We all look at how good the receivers are, but don't forget about Christian McCaffrey, also a great running back.
Yeah, they have a really solid offense here that could really attack from any angle. Mac Jones drops back here, is throwing over the middle, incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Mac Jones looking a little aggressive on first down. I mean, now you got a 2nd and long. I mean, what do you think they're going to do here?
Oh, see, they're gonna hit it with the passing game. That's what I was thinking.
I would say the same.
It's a swing out to Christian McCaffrey, and he does the work himself. Picks up a first down all the way inside the 35-yard line.
CMC is becoming a factor this drive, and their defense is going to start having to worry about him, and they're also going to have to worry about this godly receiving core.
Once again, wow, yet another fumble for a scoop and score. That's back-to-back fumbles for Washington, for the Giants, and Washington recovers and takes him back. And here we're actually going to get a review, it looks like, to see was he down. And they're going to say he was down before the fumble, so a massive dodge bullet for Washington there, for Giants.
I mean, Washington just caught a break. Or, the Giants just caught a break there.
They had the one on the kickoff, and then you thought that was going to strike again, but now they
almost went down 20-0, and they just caught a break.
You're intercepted back-to-back.
I can't believe it.
Back-to-back turnovers for the Giants. And the Washington Commanders defense is having a stand right now.
Like I said earlier, defense wins championships, and Washington coming out very aggressive, and it's looking like it right now.
Winston firing back the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Tommy Tremble. And the Commanders strike again.
We said earlier that the Giants were 0-1 and the Washington with a loud 1-0, and it's going to be another loud 2-0. And they're already seeing the win right now.
Certainly is. I don't know if it's a windy night or not, but the extra point is yet again no good. 19-0. Washington Commanders.
So we know from now what they're going to be working on in practice is fumbles and kicking. Fumbles, obviously, for the Giants have been a major problem, and kicking for Washington, another big problem.
Yeah, certainly here is the Washington defense stands tall, and the Giants need to get something going before this game gets out of reach. Run it up the gut here, Bernard. Gain up about 4.
Nice way to put it behind your head is just attack the run. It's been working. They just kind of forgot about it. Jones is sacked here. It's not a good look for the Giants.
Certainly as it brings up 3rd and long, and the Giants need something. A throw over the middle is caught. First down and more. It's Jalen Waddle on the reception. He might go all the way 80 yards for a Washington New York Giants touchdown.
Long touchdown for the Giants, and this is the momentum they needed. Just a very, very nice play call. You know, they might have gone with the screen or run play to get more positioning to punt, but no, they just attack.
Certainly do. And that is how you answer back. Kickoff here can be out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Washington will have it at the 25, trying to keep it alive and score some more points. Winston will drop back and throw. Caught. Darius Slayton on the reception. What a catch. Fighting.
Also, what a
Picks up
throw.
a first down. Yeah, he
What
stepped earlier. He let it
a
away
throw by
from the
Winston.
defender. Put it in a spot only he could get it.
Didn't have placed it in any better spot.
Dobbs
Nice
on the
run there.
Gain of 3. And McKissick denied. Going nowhere on that one.
Maybe just make him back to the line of scrimmage. Now you got a big 3rd and 7 if they don't get this. Another chance for New York here.
And they will get it with Tommy Tremble on the reception for a first down. Washington.
Tight ends for Washington is being a big factor.
Certainly is Tommy Tremble already with the touchdown this game. And the run will get him into enemy territory here. It's Dobbins. Gain of about 9.
Washington offense been clicking ever since those couple turnovers. And let's see what New York's going to do here.
As Moore is going to be injured, that is a huge hit for Washington. And that run did not go anywhere as Gilmore on the tackle, stopping Dobbins.
That is just a big key piece for Washington. And you cannot lose one of your best receivers. And maybe this is what New York needs.
Maybe we hate to see that happen, but as Dobbins answers back with a first down run. See, Washington going with the run attack here, and it's working certainly for them with the J.K. Dobbins, J.D. McKissick 1-2.
Yes, I mean the 1-2 punch is just always what you need on a team. 2 good running backs to sub out one another. We see this in Zeke and Pollard, and they're showing it right now.
DJ Moore. Looks like he is going to be out for the game with broken ribs. That is a huge hit for Washington, losing their number 1 guy, the receiving position.
Yeah, but this also means for Washington that there are other players that need to step up on this team.
Yeah, Darius Slayton certainly has a chance here. We've seen what he can do. Now he gets even more of a chance to prove it.
Also, a big 3rd down here for Washington.
3rd down and 9 here. As Winston's going to drop back, throw it over the middle. Slayton is there, making that step.
And we just talked about Slayton and how he needs to step up, and
first down
he certainly did right there.
Yep, certainly. And play action here. Pressure coming, gets rid of it, and incomplete.
Oh, just great awareness and great vision from Winston. I mean, he knew that pressure was his face, and he just knew he had to get rid of it.
Almost a dangerous pass, as if it was a bit higher, it would have been picked, but ended up being okay. And Gallimore there stops McKissick short. 3rd down and 7.
Also, we talk about how New York has not allowed any fourth downs as they convert again.
Great drive going on here by Washington.
This is what we talked about coming to this game is
Inside
New York's
15-yard line.
defense. Obviously a big liability. And this just
McKissick
means
here on
their
the
offense step up.
run. For the touchdown! Touchdown for Washington! What a run there as he fights through one tackle and gets pushed in by the New York defender. And the Washington certainly pulling away with it in this first half.
26 points in the first half could just not happen in an
Turn
NFL
this
game
Giants-
as
Giants
they
defense needs to take a step.
they've just been clicking on every cylinder.
Certainly offense and defense here. Kickoff return to 26, and they start with Bernard up the gun. Gain of about 7. 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. Give it to him again, first down.
Like him here from New York.
Second and 8, fires to Waddle with the catch, and he takes it to the crib for a touchdown. His second of the game.
Big play. And this is what New York exactly needed.
Point after the wide left. But they answer back. 4 minutes left
I
in
mean,
the second quarter.
how
Giants
bad can these special
Got
teams
another
get?
chance here. They get a stop right here. I don't know. It must be pretty windy out there. It might be playing in a hurricane.
This is where it changes. I mean, New York needs a stop. And if they don't get it here, there's going to have to be a lot of adjustments made in the second half.
Certainly, here's Dobbins takes it up the gun. Gain of 6. Kissick run outside and he's stopped after about a gain of 1. Brings up an early third down and Washington risks having to punt this ball away.
I mean, New York needs a stop. This is going to be a huge 3-and-out if they don't get it.
And Dobbins takes the handoff all the way untouched to the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Oh,
And it's only the
big
first
play
half.
for Washington and a huge
Out of reach.
ouch for New York. Wow. I mean, New York is
Washington
just
just-
speechless.
Washington just won't stop. Score after score after score. Turnover after turnover after turnover created. And this Giants team is just getting stood up right now.
They're just shocked. I mean,
Derek Chris Jones.
I don't know
taking
what's
the
gonna-
down, gain of 2.
I don't know what's going to be told in the locker room at halftime. I mean, it's just
I
rough.
certainly would not want to be in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. You know, we've had those experiences, and it's just not fun.
That pass there nearly picked off. That would have been pretty much a game ender already. It's the
I mean, yeah, this
interception
game is
dropped
already
on
looking
shutdown.
like a close here.
33 points in 1/2. That's just they can't allow another point for the rest of this half. For the rest of the game, really, if they want a chance at this.
Yeah.
Give it to Bernard up the middle. Gain up about 2. Sorry, gain about 4. Mike Jones dropped back. Looking, has to get rid of it as the pressure was coming in hot by Van Der Esch. Here, firing over the middle is going to be incomplete. Maybe the Washington got away as the receivers seem to be stuck up on something, and the Giants are forced to punt. Something
I
definitely
mean,
don't want to see right now.
just punting it, I feel like it's it right back to the defense, and I'm just seeing another touchdown here out of Washington.
2 minutes to go, and Washington has another chance to score here. Giants need to just take a massive step at halftime if they want any chance.
Certainly, all sides are gonna have to turn up here.
J.K.
And
Dobbins on a nice run there. Picks up a first down a bit more to the left. See what the Giants are doing here. I think they're too worried about the play action. And Washington is just able to run it up the gun on them.
yeah, I
Here,
mean,
another
Washington,
run, and they're
everything
ready
is
for that
clicking
one.
here.
J.K. Dobbins stopped after a gain of 2, and Hendrickson. It's been a big factor this Giants defense. Though they've not played the best, he's certainly been all around making some good stops.
Yeah, I mean, Giants just need to step up here. There's not really anything to say about this team. I think they know what they need to do to get back into this game, and this is going to be a big halftime for New York.
Certainly, in a 2-minute warning here. At halftime, we'll send you down to Caden for the Week 2 halftime report. We will cover the Week 1 matchups, injuries, and the halftime adjustments that these teams are going to make going into the second half. J.K. Dobbins here picks up the first down. Already a massive game by him. 136 yards and 2 touchdowns.
J.K. Dobbins looking like the player of the game here for Washington. Obviously, with DJ Moore out, like I said, everyone else is going to have to step up.
Certainly, and lose the receiver. Stick with the run game. Switch it up, go with the passer, and Winston trying to escape from the pressure, and he gets it back to the yard line, the line of scrimmage, and picks up about a yard. It's a pretty athletic escape there to get away from both defenders.
Obviously, knows James Winston has that passing ability. Don't forget about his wheels, as he can do a lot more than that, and we've seen it before.
Certainly here. The Giants are just letting them walk all over him. They cannot stop the run here.
Yeah, like I said, a
The
lot
game
of
trends
adjustments are
here.
going to have to be made.
28 rush attempts to 12 pass attempts for Washington. And the Washington Commanders are not going to take a timeout here. They are going to waste the time.
Smart play call. I like it.
Settle just for the field goal. And they'll snap it with 1 second to go and run it up the middle. They got to get down and call timeout quickly. Time's going to expire in the halftime, and they're going to keep their 33-13 lead without a field goal or touchdown.
Obviously, we were both thinking something their yards, and that's just not what happened. I mean, don't know on the coaching sideline right now.
Halftime where Caden will take it away and give you the Week 2 halftime report. Caden, off to you.
Yes, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and get you to the halftime show in just 1 second from Washington. We want to thank you for watching the presentation of Madden League's NFL Season 1, League 1. And we'll be back in just a second for the halftime report where we will cover injuries, Week 1 highlights, or Week 1 stats and scores. And we will cover halftime adjustments by each owner or coach, however you want to put it. But yeah, we'll be back in just a second for Thursday Night Football halftime report. And we are live with the Week 2 halftime report. Give me 1 second to get it up. All right, we are here in the Week 2 halftime report. Week 1 scores are now on. Let me go ahead and get this all ready. All right, we're here in the Week 2 halftime report. First of all, we have injuries that have happened in the game. Actually, one injury in DJ Moore. He will be out for the rest of the game with a rib injury. He will not be returning, and he will be in the X-ray room getting a X-ray for the determination of how many weeks he will be out. We will be getting you that number in next week's halftime report if he is out more than a few weeks. We also will be doing a show tomorrow with some other stats that are not included in the slideshow. First, start off in Tampa Bay, where they took on the Dallas Cowboys, where the final score was 36 Dallas and 97 Tampa Bay. We're going to look at the Buccaneers offense here. They had a 497 pass yards, an extraordinary game. Pass touchdowns. They had 203 rushing yards. They had 4 rushing touchdowns, and they scored 97 points in that game. Cowboys offense, they had 429 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and only 78 rushing yards. Dallas looking to get their rushing game going more in Week 2 and beyond. Buccaneers defense had 8 interceptions and 5 forced fumbles. Buccaneers defense standing strong against the Cowboys offense. Cowboys defense had 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. So really sloppy but put together game by the Cowboys and Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. And we're going to look at Joey Slye, the Dallas punter, or the Dallas kicker, and Buccaneers kicker Tyler Bass. Joey Slye, 0 field goal attempts, 0 field goal made, 0% on PATs, my bad. Tyler Bass had 1 field goal attempt, 1 field goal made. He made that from 19 yards. He was 6 for 7 on PATs, nearly 100%, but did miss 1. Now we're going to get to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans, where the final score was 15 Jaguars, 14 Texans. Texans fall to 0-1. Jaguars lift to 1-0. Jaguars versus Texans. They had 302. Jaguars had 302 passing yards. Texans with 216. Jaguars had 1 passing touchdown. Jaguars with 1 passing touchdown as well. Jaguars had 116 rush yards. Texans had 35 rush yards. Jaguars were 40% in the red zone. Texans did have a rushing touchdowns. Jaguars did not. And Texans were 66% in the red zone. Texans pretty much, Jaguars pretty much won everything except for the rushing touchdowns and the percentage in the red zone. Now we get to defense for two teams. Jaguars with one forced fumble, 216 yards allowed, and 14 points allowed. The Texans defense, however, had 2 interceptions and 416 yards allowed, so more interceptions. Jaguars not having an interception, but they allowed a lot, 200 more yards than Jaguars did. And now we're going to get to Washington, the team that is playing tonight. Washington took on the LA Chargers at home, winning 34-24 in an absolute thriller, I guess you can say, where Washington was down 17-12 at half and only allowed one more touchdown entire game. Final score 34-24 Washington. The offense, the Chargers offense had 351 yards. They had 2 passing touchdowns, 27 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. The Washington Commanders offense only had 92 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, and they had 123 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Give me 1 second. Okay. And then we're going to get to the defense. Chargers defense had 1 interception, forcing 2 forced fumbles. Washington with 4 interceptions on Dak Prescott there in Washington. We're going to get to Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. I am the owner of that team. It's going to be the Seahawks came out on top 24 against Indianapolis 10. Seahawks defense did stand. Seahawks offense did stand. Indianapolis defense did struggle a little bit. Indianapolis offense did do well. Seahawks offense had 149 passing yards, 165 rushing yards, 3 rush touchdowns. Giants offense had 127. The Colts offense had 127 passing yards, 41 rush yards, no rushing touchdowns for the Giants, and no passing touchdowns for the Giants. Defensively, the Seahawks had 3 interceptions. The Colts had 2 interceptions. Seahawks, with the halftime adjustments, came out to win that game. And then we have the final scores for the games. These games might not have stats. They might just have, but the stats will be coming out in tomorrow's show. So make sure to go watch that. But New York Jets at Carolina Panthers. The Panthers did come up with a win, 13-10 over New York. New York did struggle. We'll look at the offensive numbers for the teams. New York had 191 yards. New York also had 1 passing touchdown and 81 rushing yards. Panthers had 278 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 9 rushing yards. Defense for the teams, Jets had 1 interception, and Carolina defense did not have any turnovers forced, but they only allowed 10 points. Obviously, that 10 points did go a long way, as they did get a W. And now we're just going to get to the scores, and the rest of the stats will be coming out tomorrow. The San Francisco 49ers at Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions blew out San Francisco 49ers 49-14. Arizona Cardinals at Tennessee Titans. The Cardinals 64-27. Titans fall to 0-1. Arizona goes to 1-0. Offense scoring 64 points. Philadelphia Eagles at Atlanta Falcons. Eagles get the win 32-24. Falcons 0-1. Eagles 1-0. Cleveland Browns at Kansas City Chiefs. Final score was 28-14 as the Browns head to 1-0. And last but not least, Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. Miami coming out with the win 38. New England 24 as Miami goes to 1-0. New England to 0-1. And that is most of our Week 1 matchups. Again, there might be not some on here, but they will be in tomorrow's show. And we look at the Week 1 injuries. We have quite a few. I'm not going to read through them all. And sorry, but I'm not going to read through them all, but you guys can kind of see them. We do have some season-ending injuries. The season ending is going to be Cameron Clarks, the right guard for the Steelers. We have Chubbs Hubbard, halfback for the Giants. We have never mind. I believe that might be it. So yeah, that should be all the season-ending injuries for Week 1. And we get back to your announcers in just a second for the staff call of New York Giants at Washington Commanders. But the halftime adjustments for the teams, New York has told us that Mac Jones needs. Mac Jones did step up and Waddle did step up in the first half, but he needs to stop throwing so many turnovers, run game going, and stop turning over the ball. He needs to get the run game going outside wherever it works. And for the Washington Commanders, the run game has went very well for them. With DJ Moore out, he have to rely on the run game, and J.K. Dobbins and J.D. McKissick up. So we're going to start 2 o'clock, and the defense is going to have to step up today. And we'll have a report. J.D. McKissick has a foot injury and will be playing Duke Johnson, the third-string running back, will be stepping up to the second-string position for Washington. We get to back the call of the second half with your commentators in just a moment. And Commanders are up, scoring the New York Giants, with the New York Giants only having 13 points. We will get you back for the second half call of the New York Giants at Washington Commanders in just 1 second.
And so we are back here from halftime in Washington, and obviously we talked about the Giants and how their big adjustments are going to have to be made at the second half. And obviously we talked to the coach of the Giants in the second half, and he didn't mention a word about the defense. And he just said about the offense that they need to step up, but obviously the defense allowing 33 points in this first half. I mean, what do you think about that?
Definitely both sides of the ball need to step up, but do remember, some of those points have been off of turnovers from the offense that the Giants have created.
Yes,
So,
he did
I see
mention
where he's
about
coming from.
he did
But
mention
the
about
Giants-
fumbling the football.
Yes, the Giants certainly need to step up. Their run
As
defense as Washington has just been
Dobbins takes it
running
here to the
all over
29.
them.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. So already a third down here
Third down
for
here.
Washington.
Defend the
Let's see
runs the first 2 play, and then a pass is coming here.
Winston
rifles
Smith a
it
shot downfield,
open.
and it is caught by Slayton for a touchdown. Wow.
Halftime speech was not good enough as you just allow that
I mean, a
opening
little bit
drive
of
of the
announcer
second half.
jinx there. We just talked about
Mhm.
how they need to step up on defense, and obviously, it just told the story right there.
He looked overcommitted to the run there. It was 3rd and long. I'm thinking you gotta expect the pass there. Maybe send a guy or two. Get in that way of that run lane, but did not end up working out there. As Slayton just beat his
Surprising.
man. Outran the
Here's
defense for a touchdown.
here's the kickoff by Washington, and that's going to be out of bounds. So good fielding position to start off here for New York, as they're going to start off with their own 43. Obviously, we talked about special teams and their liabilities, and also the defense. I mean, both sides of special teams has just not been surprising.
Certainly must be a windy night, as Bernard takes it the middle for a gain of 1.
Yes, it brings up 2nd and 9 here on their own 44. I mean, this is a big drive for New York. I say early enough that if they don't get it here, then this is big. I mean, New York needs a score here. They absolutely need a score. So he throws it in the middle to Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders, for a first down. The veteran, Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he's coming in the closing ends of his career. He's obviously a great receiver when he was on the Broncos. Looking to step it up here in New York. Here's a run from Bernard, and that is going to make it a 2nd and 7. I say you go to the run again, just to, keep the defense on their toes and always have them guessing and keep them honest. Let's go to the pass here. Definitely not the call they want. Is Mac Jones will take it for a gain of about 5. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. Big third down here for Mac Jones, the Giants. As Juszczyk. I like that play call right there. They go to the big guy and they get the first down. You need someone powerful on a 3rd down play, especially when it's 3rd and short.
Certainly
As Jones
drops
gonna
back
and
get shot.
prayer, and we're luckily that not intercepted. Here's a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Might have to go back to the pass here as they do. And great defense as that one is batted down. Incomplete, so a big 3rd and 10 here.
Yep.
Here's the 3rd down play for Mac Jones, making a couple changes, and he takes a snap. Mac Jones rolling out right. Gonna throw it. He's got a man for the first down.
Gonna ask my announcer here to check his phone. As Mac Jones, 1st and goal now, run out the middle. The Juszczyk and the big man brings it to the 1-yard line.
Oh, that's close.
Gonna say it was short. The middle Bernard is denied. 3rd and goal. Waddle goes down. Get a check up on him. Juszczyk powering forward. They're gonna say he's short. Brings up 4th and goal. And this is Washington defense making a stand at the goal line.
Fourth and goal here and a flag.
Like, it's gonna back. Wow, that's a huge penalty. And this 4th and goal from the 1-yard line all the way back to the 5. But Only option here to go for it. If the Giants still want a chance at this game. James Jones rolls out.
He's going to take the snap. He's going to roll out.
Mac Jones, sorry.
And he's going to run it in for the touchdown.
Touchdown.
A big score here for Mac Jones
Defense.
in this New York
Step on
offense.
Kick is up and good.
And the
20 to
kick
40. Washington's still in front.
Kickoff is away here. And obviously they need a big stop to switch this game around.
Certainly in. This drive will really tell the story of the game if the Giants have any hope in coming back in. Flag here.
And a flag on the play.
Just gonna bring Washington back for a holding.
This is big right here. This is big momentum for New York. I mean, this is going to bring up a first in the long. And once it's going to drag here, it's going to take a long throw. A lot of defenders there, and it's incomplete. Also, a lot of contact.
Yeah, certainly. I think they timed it up just perfectly to avoid that flag, though. Ended up making a good pass breakup.
New York making a stand right now. It's Winston intercepted, picked off by the Giants.
What a turnaround for the
And
Giants.
he's going to
They
take it
needed that.
to the other
The big
17.
D lineman Robinson with the interception. You love to see that there.
Big play for
That's
New
gonna be
York.
a highlight of his career. But they're gonna go
And
and
now-
review this, seeing if it was a completed interception, and it is. It call stands. Giants football in the red zone.
Giants need to capitalize. Now they have a lot of momentum on their side. Crowd is starting to die down a little bit. Jones
Certainly.
all by himself. No one in the backfield. Is he going to throw to his left side and cleat a lot of defenders there?
Certainly should have had that one though. Got in front of the ball, hit him in the hands, just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, obviously not. Obviously, we talked about this receiver core. Jones going to roll out right. And he gets it away just in time, avoiding the sack. So now a
Close
third
play
down
there.
here. And Washington has a guy down. Nelson is on the ground.
Good
Should
update
bring
there.
it-
Jalen Waddle is back in the game, it looks like. They're going down just earlier.
This is big for New York as he will just throw it away. So they're going to go
What they're
field
gonna
goal.
do. Field goal looks like, yep.
We talked about the special teams. I mean, this is going to be big right here.
Well,
Kick
let's
is up
kick is
and
up and-
good.
It's good. Brings it to a 17-point game. The Giants have some momentum going here. They need to keep it alive though.
Giants obviously going to need another stop. And they're going to need a series of stops here to just at least stay in this game. The lead's cut down to 17. Here as it was
It's actually still a
13 to
three-possession
30
game.
a half. As here is Winston on first down. He's going to run it to Dobbins. Dobbins gets a good gain.
Keep it his big game alive.
We talk
Just
about,
reaching the 145-yard.
of course, and we talk about J.D. McKissick and J. Dobbins, both great running backs for this Washington team as he finds a hole and goes
Dobbins with the
down.
hole. I wonder what the strategy here is. I think they're trying to waste off clock because they could have probably scored on that play right there.
They could have definitely scored on that play. No free safeties to at least slow it down. As here's another
At that point,
run
it's a foot race.
as
Dobbins stopped short after gain 3.
see 24 rushes for Dobbins. Just looking to step up.
Certainly young running back. They've got their guy for the future. He's having a great game tonight. Showing what he's made of.
Of course, and here's Winston trying to chew this play clock down. Don't know if he's ever heard of the chew clock button. There's
Dobbins
a
again.
if he
First
presses
down.
L1, he can change the tempo.
So
But obviously, we
again,
have a 1st down and 10 here for Washington. So he's going to drop back the pass, and he's going to get it. 1st
they
down.
is
And
Slayton over the middle. The guy's catching every target that comes his way.
he
Really
listened
stepping
to
up.
us.
That's good.
Now it's 1st and 10, and he's trying to
First
catch his
and-
breath in the backfield. Actually looking
Certainly
very tired as
trying to drive
Dobbins is
here.
going to take it again.
Washington
Oh,
defense
he's gonna
breaks
take a
through some tackles. Tough running by Dobbins, but we have a flag on the play. This is gonna go back another holding. It's Fenley.
So now 1st and 15, still in New York territories. They're going to go to a run. Michael Carter gonna
Carter, his first carry gets up to about 2.
like the aggressiveness from Washington. So obviously, we're going to see a lot of rushing attempts here as the running game has been working. New York hasn't found a way yet
Trying to open up that backfield as Michael Carter.
as
comes in.
Winston is sacked.
Zach
So now,
Gallimore, what a huge sack, bringing him certainly out of field goal range.
you think about a
Especially
couple
the way
plays
they
before that. Do you think he should have taken the touchdown as he throws a pick?
picked
Hereby
Here's-
curse.
on the reception,
And
interception.
a lot of talking is going to go down about that J.K. Dobbins play where he could have taken to the house. I mean, what? Like,
Certainly,
what
I
do
mean,
I'm lost for words.
I get the shoot clock, but it's the 3rd quarter, and you already know that the Giants have got some momentum on their side. You got to just take that to the crib and ruin their confidence there.
Sometimes these players play, they're down. That the game actually is. I mean, we're playing a big amount of time in these quarters, and you're starting to run chew clock in the 3rd quarter. I mean, 4th quarter hasn't even started yet. You could have taken that touchdown.
Yeah, start of the 3rd quarter too. Mac Jones here gonna drop back.
And a fumble out of bounds.
Lucky break for the Giants there. Mac Jones looks like he had that left side open, but
I was looking there too.
he was already committed to his run there. It's his 2nd fumble this game, I think. Luckily,
2nd
he
and
did not lose
6.
that.
Oh, and he stays on his feet.
Wow,
What
what a
a
run by Bernard.
play by Bernard.
1st down, Giants to 25-yard line.
I mean, on that play, it looked like Bernard was starting to stumble, gets back on his feet by his lovely O-lineman.
Yeah, it looks like he ran into
And
his own
picks up
guy,
more.
but is it going?
Use check.
The run
Takes
here
it
plays
for
around
gain of 1.
about 1. Juszczyk stays back there.
Say go to them again.
Interesting how they use this fullback in the running game so much. Fullbacks are
As
typically seen as
Jones
that.
is going to roll out left. He's got a man. Graham for a touchdown.
And it is a 2-possession game now. The Giants are really trying to bring this back, and field goal will bring within 10 points.
17-7 run by New York, and this lead is cut to 10. Washington crowd is starting to ease down a little bit as this lead is cut to 10 here in Washington, and we talked about how they needed to make some changes at half, and they certainly have so far.
Definitely, it started. 3rd quarter started. The turnover, if I remember, and a touchdown by Washington. But since then, it's just been all Giants.
Certainly is. Here's Harris on the return. Short
Short
kick.
kick.
He's got his left side and a big 36. Good field position here for Washington.
Return. Now they just gotta get something going here. They want to keep this. The
See
scoring
Dobbins
streak
here
alive.
back here. Has
Give it to
a run.
Good run.
Good way to start it out. I go back to it. Obviously, we talked
Certainly
about
he's
keep the defense guessing, not
been
commit to
doing
only
all
one
game.
thing. Yep. Dobbins for a first
Back
down.
to Dobbins. Solid run in there. He's getting closer and closer to that 200-yard mark. Fantasy owners are thankful right now.
We take it to the fourth quarter here. 1st and 10 here for Winston. He almost got there to get a loss, but not in time. Dobbins takes for a gain of 3.
Foster on the tackle
And
there.
weird defensive formation here
Set up
for York. Throws
taken
and
in by Brown for first down.
let's talk about that defensive formation. They're running prevent.
On Brown's first reception. I don't know what they're doing. They've been running the ball all game. Lucky they got a pass there, I guess. But certainly weird play call.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Dobbins
not
here.
what you expect if you're down by
Tripped up.
10 in the fourth.
Tripped up after a gain of 7.
Here is Winston. It's going to bring him a 2nd and 3. Going to go to the run. It's Dobbins. Did you get it?
Good stop there. I think he's short.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and short here for Washington. Definitely,
Garrett
I would take
flying
the
off
field
that
goal
edge to make
here.
that clutch stop. Oh yeah, certainly.
If they don't get it, do. Dobbins with the first down.
He just will not be denied every run. He's going forward.
31 rushes here for Dobbins. Winston on the 26. Play clock down to 6. And run to Dobbins. It's going to bring up a 4. And seconds. All right, so we talked about big turnovers in the red zone. But also, there's big turnovers for New York early in this game in the red zone. They had definitely many opportunities, and they could have definitely had a shorter kind of lead or shorter deficit than we were expecting.
Certainly, it was a 17-point game going into halftime. Sorry, actually, it was a 20-point game going into halftime.
20-point game.
They've cut
Here is
that down to 10.
Johnson.
Opening up that backfield.
A lot of
For Dobbins
depth
to rest. But he
here.
comes back in here. 2nd and 5.
As
to him.
Dobbins will not be denied down in the 4. So the run game is working
Good
here.
surge forward there. Picks up a first down. And Washington trying to put a cap on this one.
Let's go to the inside zone. Is Dobbins. Gain of 1 and a 2nd and goal. A goal line stand much needed here. And I think they're just going to go right back to it. I don't see a pass play ran right here, and they definitely will. It's a halfback draw. Lost a lot of
Johnson's
time.
denied there. What a stop.
A draw on the goal line is not what you would expect.
No.
It's going to bring a 3rd
They've
and
been
goal.
running all over him. They've let up 40 points, but Hendrickson certainly has had a night. Made some key stops
Winston,
here.
3rd and goal. He's going to roll out right. Will he use the wheels? A wide open Slayton for the touchdown. And is this the icing to the cake for Washington?
Certainly could be it. So they make it a 3-possession game with that kick. Huge kick there, actually.
And New York is in shambles right
turnovers.
now. I mean, if you look at it, beside the turnovers, New York has played offense very well.
Certainly.
Except
30
for
points.
allowing 47 points.
It's the
coming
defense
to-
got to make a step. The
Yes.
offense has been consistent ever since the second half.
Jones is going to roll out right. Has nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we'll just throw it away.
Away.
So we're going to go 2nd and 10. on their own 20. Second and 10. Jones looking out left. Got a man in his face and
And
incomplete.
he gets hit as he throws there. Didn't really see a reason to roll out that early. Kind of create an awkward position for his alignment.
Awkward
So-
position for the receivers, too. There's no way he could throw the other field. And we're going to roll out again. Has nothing again. Fourth down.
You got to go for it here no matter how far.
Yeah.
If you want any chance, they will.
Their offense is starting to look helpless. I see Ver- do it. And he's just going to throw it, and it's picked.
Throwing picked. Jair Alexander
And
will
that
seal it for the
is gonna do it.
Commanders here. As unless a miracle happens,
Giants
Washington has this.
Giants looking to fall to 0-2. Washington keeping their winning streak alive. Fans are on their feet here in Washington. And this team is starting to look like something special after a long couple years. Goes to the lateral and loses some in a timeout here by New York. Set a 3rd and 14. So a quick third down, and they're going to bring in the backup quarterback. This Flacco will not get it.
Old
This
man
is obviously-
capitalism of here. They're gonna
Go
try
ahead.
a field goal here from the logo.
It's a long field goal here for
Up
Washington, and it
inside,
is
bro.
up and no good.
Off the bar. Bad bouncing. And Winston was actually hurt on that plane. He's not gonna be able to return.
Wow,
That's
late
why
game
Flacco-
injury, up by big. That's
He was having
gonna
a
hurt.
great game too. They've lost some players this game. Solid win, but at what cost?
Yeah, it's
Giants get the ball back with 4 minutes. 17 points to try to make an effort.
starting to look helpless here in Washington. As here's Jones, and he is sacked. Big
Can't
loss.
take that, you just can't.
As
Especially right
we
now.
see Jones is starting to roll out a lot. This is just not
Not his
good
usual play
offense.
style.
Yeah. It's one of the verticals. Nothing open, just going to take a shot. And it's caught.
Shot is caught. Looks like he tripped on something.
Wow.
But
Did he intentionally go down there, or what happened? I mean, he could
I
have
don't know.
ran that in.
it's like
It's a flag. Oh, it's going to be a false start on the offenses. First.
these penalties are gonna
First and
start
15.
killing him.
Here's Jones rolling out right
Survey,
again, and it's going to
flag
throw it again, and it's
thrown.
going to be
Hopper bears down.
a
But it's
holding.
coming back.
And he declines it. Wow. So obviously showing a little bit of
Show res-
was that an
respect.
insult by
Yeah, actually, I'd say that's more of an insult instead of respect.
kind of putting
Giving
salt
him
on the
all the
wound?
opportunity could
It's
have.
3rd and inches here. No run play. Jones rolling left, going to use his
He tried
wheels.
to
And
take it himself and he's gonna lose some yards here. Bring up 4th, about 2.
he lost yards there. I mean, I was expecting a run. Everyone
Yeah,
here
gotta
was
run down
expecting
there,
run.
get
You were
fullback or
expecting run.
something.
I mean, what happened?
I'm not sure. Just
Two.
take heavy the pass, and he is a
And
wide
wide open
open
touch.
man.
Wide open for the touchdown,
Just
but not enough time.
send a backer
For-
off the edge. Looks like Van Der Esch was blitzing, but at what cost is that leaves Bernard wide open for a touchdown?
Good play call as the kick is wide left
Oh, good.
by New York, and certainly going to take an onside kick. Here's
Got to at
Lutz.
this point. One second.
And they're going to get it. New York has
Wow,
it.
that is huge. I mean, especially in
Big.
Madden, 2 minutes is a lot of time. They got two
Yes, a
timeouts left.
lot of time for New York. And
The Giants need something to go here on offense.
he's going to
No
roll
turnovers allowed. He has a
right.
man. He's caught by Sanders.
Nice.
Nice throw there.
1st and 10 here. 2:08 to go here. You got to play it before the 2-minute warning. So nice way to get out of bounds there. So here's
They're gonna
Jones
run a play before the warning.
looking left
Throwing
and
left.
batted
Good
down.
defense.
2nd and 10. Here for New York. Jones is going to make an auto snap. Quick snap here. Looking. Going to throw it. And was it intercepted? Nope, it was not.
No,
So
there's out of bounds.
New York is going to catch a
Wow.
break. Not a good throw there from
that,
Jones.
That would have been the ending.
But sealed it right there. It's 3rd and 10.
We have a post
A
game.
lot of slant plays from this. Oh,
The announcers here are going to get interviewed at the post game show. Show us some second half injuries and some information on those as we catch up. And they're going to go for a field goal here. Kick is a wide
left.
Can't miss that. That
Certainly
might do
not.
it. As they haven't been able to stop the run. And that's all Washington needs to do to milk this clock out and win the game. Dobbins. Gain of 2.
Second and 8 there from Dobbins. Gain of 3. It's going to be 3rd and 5. And New York has wasted all their timeouts. So 1st down here, we'll virtually end it.
Certainly.
3rd and
Dobbins.
5.
What a run. Put the cap on.
Washington is going to win this game. And a timeout.
Called
by Washington. And
yeah.
I mean, I would just say here, just
they're gonna need out victory formation.
Great formation here, and a big win, but at what cost? Losing DJ Moore and Jameis Winston. That's gonna be the headline for tonight. Well, what will Washington do in the long road without
Certainly,
Jameis Winston and DJ Moore?
They do have a reliable backup on Old Man Joe. Certainly wouldn't be nervous about losing him, as we do get some information about Jameis Winston on the return. But Joe Flacco, solid backup. And honestly, one of the better backups you'd want to take over. As that
obviously
the final knee. And a dominant stance by Washington, putting up 47 points, 30 in the first half. And denying the Giants' comeback.
New York defense not looking good. Big win here for Washington. And this is going to do it. I mean, big win here for
Washington. And as we are going to head to the post-game show with Caden.
Caden?
Off to you.
All right, we are in the post-game show in Washington. As you can see, the stats are on the board. A dominating performance by Washington, blowing out, not really blowing out, but high-scoring game in Washington versus the New York Giants, as they outscore them 47-36. The Washington did have 5 takeaways, leading them to that victory. Defense had a dominant performance. Now, the announcers, I'm going to have some questions for you in just a moment. We'll be back in just a second. Okay, so you can both, we are back. You guys can both answer these questions. You guys can just rotate back and forth.
Right.
Actually, you know what we're going to do? Brady, you're going to do the Washington questions, and Tristan, you're going to do the Giants questions. So first, Brady, the first Washington question: why do you think the running back went down in front of with a bunch of open space there in the third quarter? What do you think the logic was behind that?
My only guess would be to waste time, even at a questionable time. Could have took it there for the touchdown, really put a cap on it, but maybe the coach had different plans. As it ended up giving the Giants some momentum there. Not a good decision. And the chances are he just slipped and fell, maybe sneezed and hit a square button, but certainly an interesting play there.
All right. And then, Tristan, we're going to get you for the first question for the Giants. What do you think went well, even if they lost? What do you think went well for New York Giants?
You know what I'm going to say after this went well is the passing game. The pass game obviously went well. Obviously, in the beginning, turnovers, a lot of great passes were made by Jones. And we're talking about this receiver core, one of the best receiving cores in the league, one of the fastest receiving cores as well. Brandon Cooks and Jalen Waddle. I mean, if you think about it, how could you stop this offense with these guys? Obviously, with Christian McCaffrey running back, but there's going to have to be someone to back that position up, like a 1-2 punch from Washington.
I do agree, and we're going to get to the second question for Washington. Who do you think stepped up in this game, and who do you think made a big play? Do you think was MVP, offensive player, defensive player, whatever you want to consider? Who do you think stepped up in this game for Washington?
MVP definitely goes out to J.K. Dobbins there, as that man would not be denied scoring.
I agree.
Was it 3 touchdowns, and really putting a stillness in those first down runs. But a guy that stepped up after losing DJ Moore, Darius Slayton came in, had a few touchdowns, caught everything that went his way. It definitely took a big role in that wide receiver 1 position, something new to him. So, MVP is going to J.K. Dobbins. And on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of interceptions go around, but overall, I got to get it to Jaire Alexander for that game-sealing pick at the end there. Really shut it out.
Okay, and Tristan, we're going to get you for the next question for the Giants. How do you think they're going to plan their next game with how it went today?
Obviously, let's talk about first. I mean, we kind of get uncomfortable in the end. Started to roll out a little bit. He wasn't very patient. A lot of forced passes were made. Obviously, a lot of bailouts were made. Receiver was bad ball, and this receiver went up with it and came down with it. But on the defensive side, that's the main thing. Defense side just did not look good all around the board, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, obviously the defense, this practice, and also special teams. A lot of things went wrong in this game for New York. Beside the fact of that late game near comeback.
And then we're going to get to the last question for Washington, where we have a few more for the Giants. Running the ball in 3rd and inches in the red zone, or not running the ball in 3rd and inches in the red zone. Were you surprised? Do you think that it should have been a run there, even with the time on the clock?
Yeah, certainly. The run game was getting it going all night. I get you could try to catch him off guard, but there, you've been averaging about 5 yards a carry. You just gotta hand it off.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then we're gonna get to the fourth question for the Giants. Sorry, the fifth question with Giants. Or sorry, fourth question. How do you think the team responded? You know, to even if how do you think the Giants responded to the second half adversity and how they had to come back? How do you think they responded?
I think the Giants came out in the second half with a lot of fire. I mean, obviously they were 0-1 before that. They didn't want to fall to an 0-2, kind of lose momentum, and they came out with fire at first. But the running game just started to get them. I don't know, get them tired. They just looked like they didn't want to be out there. Like late in the game, J.K. Dobbins stepped up. I mean, Daniel Jones obviously made a lot of mistakes, but defense was just a factor. I mean, they allowed less points second half, which was a good thing. We like to see that from New York, but obviously Washington and their dominant run game just did the rest.
Yes, and another question for New York. Not being able to stop on third down, what do you think the defensive front, the scenario, the defensive coordinator, the defensive play calling, what do you think that you're surprised by on some play calling there on third down against Washington on third down?
Obviously, on third down, they expected a lot of pass plays, surprised them by going to the run, and it just worked. And that's something that's not supposed to happen. And obviously, there was a lot of third down passes made, and it just all around did not look good here for New York as they just could not stop this Washington offense.
Okay, and last question for New York. How do you think the offensive line, how do you think they played, obviously, with a few penalties, a few cost penalties? So both teams, actually, both of you can answer this. How do you guys think the offensive line kind of had a cost on this game with all the sacks, all the QB pressures, all the penalties? How do you think the offensive line kind of had a effect on this game, and how do you think the game would have been different without all the holding calls and stuff like that?
Brady, you can go first.
Yeah, certainly. Washington had some momentum going on that drive where they were trying to make it back to a two-position game, and they had some holdings that took away some first downs, especially that first down on 1st and 15. Mac Jones threw it on the slant. It was a great sideline catch, but a holding brought it back. And that was truly just a dagger to their comeback story. And that's something they got to work on over these next couple of days. But this team has a lot of potential going forward.
I definitely agree with that. And obviously, the offensive line, there was a lot of, bad things that happened for New York. But offensive line for Washington, I can't lie, it looked pretty good in the run game. But passing offensive line just needs to step up, obviously, all around the board. But we look at the Giants' offense, and they kind of looked like repetitive. Like they looked like they were under Matt Canada's scheme. A lot of slant plays were called, and that's what also set up a lot of defensive big plays with the 5 takes. Just a really repetitive offense. I mean, early on this game, they went with the run. They liked McCaffrey, and they kind of just became impatient as they were down more and more.
And this game is really interesting if you look at these stats here, because you have New York leading in passing yards, but Washington leading in rushing yards, but New York leading in average yards per play, but they somehow still came short, even though they had more passing yards and average yards per play. A big stat. How do you guys think that? How do you think Washington kind of like? Just how impressed are you with Washington in the run game?
Super impressed. I mean, the Giants really had no answer. They could not stop J.K. Dobbins. They couldn't stop J.D. McKissick. They couldn't stop anyone they put back there. And that O-line up front certainly sealed this game away.
Yeah, and obviously, talking about their offensive line, during the passing plays, they had a lot of big sacks for New York to set up good drives for New York. But we talk about the run game and how well it's set up for Washington. See the 1-2 punch, J.D. McKissic, J.K. Dobbins, both J's in the first name. I mean, how could you stop that? It's two guys untired, running at your face every single play. I mean, it just looked impossible to stop tonight.
Thank you very much. And we do have breaking news coming out of Washington. We have an injury update. Jameis Winston with a standby. Jameis Winston is out for 4 weeks with a abdominal tear. That is a huge loss for Washington. Washington is now in trade talks with Seattle and for a possible quarterback. And Washington, DJ Moore, also a huge loss. He's going to be out for 5 weeks with broken ribs. Both big losses for the Washington offense and just the Washington team in general, as those are two people, humongous games tonight, scoring a lot of touchdowns. Obviously, Jameis Winston is the leader and commander and field general of the offense. So that is the breaking news coming out of Washington. How do you guys both think that this will affect the Washington offense? How do you think that they have to plan against it? And how do you think that the other players are going to have to step up?
Well, exactly how they play tonight. Run that football. J.K. Dobbins is going to be the most important person on this offense for those next few weeks. That Jameis Winston is out and DJ Moore. But on the upside, their backup, a veteran, well-known guy, Joe Flacco. So if he does end up starting, I'm comfortable with that. You're not relying on some new guy. You're not relying on some. We know Joe Flacco. We've seen him play. He's won a Super Bowl. He's had a solid career, so you definitely feel safe with him as your quarterback. And you still got J.K. Dobbins in that backfield.
Of course, regarding the fact of that 2012 Super Bowl win against the 49ers, obviously a big one for Joe Flacco, but down the road, he's been living out a suitcase for the rest of his career. I mean, he's been on a lot of teams, hopping on each other team. I mean, obviously, Joe Flacco is going to have some time with this Commanders offense in order to improve. And down the road, I feel like this will affect Washington as, I mean, teams will start to adapt to that 1-2 punch with J.D. McKissic, J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, DJ Moore out, limited weapons for Joe Flacco. And I don't know how well this will turn out for Washington down the road.
Yes, definitely. And prayers up to them. Hopefully they do get back in time for Washington's big matchups down the road that they do have. And we're going to talk a little bit about next week and what to expect. We'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few of the possible primetime matchups next week. The original matchup was going to be the Eagles and the Cowboys, but we do have some personal stuff that is not going to let that game happen. But it still is possible. It is not 100% ruled out. The week will be sent tomorrow, so it might be played Saturday, Sunday, something like that. But the Eagles at Cowboys is one possible scenario. Eagles 1-0 and Cowboys are 1. We also have a possibility for the Packers at 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Packers being led by CBands _74 and 49ers being led by Olsen Boys 538. We also have a possibility for another Thursday night game, which will probably not be played on Thursday night, but we have the Carolina Panthers led by Debo _Pro31. And we have at Houston Texans, led by Hunter Sicko Mode 17. Those are the possible Week 3 matchups in prime time. We also have the Indianapolis Colts at Tennessee Titans, Atlanta Falcons at New York Giants, the Los Angeles Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals at Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chicago Bears at Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens at Detroit Lions, the New Orleans Saints at New England Patriots, the Arizona Cardinals at Jacksonville Jaguars, the Washington Football Team at Buffalo, and the New York Jets at Denver Broncos, the Miami Dolphins at Las Vegas Raiders, Seattle Seahawks at Minnesota Vikings, and lastly, but definitely not least, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Los Angeles Rams, which is definitely going to be a good matchup.
Bobby's is on his way home.
I guess stupid ass mom. We have those are the Week 3 matchups. We will get on to Week 4 and week. We will have a Week 2 analysis on the Week 2 halftime show. We'll have a Week 2 analysis on the Week 3 halftime show. Please make sure to come by next primetime game. And as always, thank you for watching this presentation of Madden 22 on watchable primetime games. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next primetime game. And I'm going to get some music on as we exit this game. Thank you very much for watching. And have a good night. Also, thank you to our commentators if you want to say a quick goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you very much.